Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Constituent Assembly debates. So first write a short notes, then we can discuss. Okay.
Okay.
The Indian Constituent Assembly was established with the expression purpose of creating a constitution for an independent India. Between 1947 and 1949, until the Indian Constitution was approved, it existed for 3 years.
Sir, existed for
3 years. The Indian Constitution was framed over
sir?
framed over the course of 165 days in the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly debates and discussions that the members had while formulating a constitution for a free India are referred
Sir, formatting the constitution.
for a free India are referred to as Constituent Assembly debates. It gives a
What, sir?
solid understanding
Sir, after debates, what, sir?
it gives a understanding of the thoughts that went into the creation of our constitution. Okay.
For understanding of the thought, repeat it, sir.
That went in the
Understanding of the thoughts that went into the creation of our constitution.
Our
yes.
constitution. Thank you.
Sir, could you please repeat just first line one time
First line
from the start?
from the starting. The
The
Indian Constituent Assembly
The Indian Constituent Assembly.
was established
Okay.
with the express purpose of creating a constitution for an independent India between 1947 and 1949. Until the Indian Constitution was approved, it exercised for 3 years. The Indian Constitution was framed over the course of 165 days in the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly debates and discussions that the members had while formulating the Constitution for a free India are referred to as a Constituent Assembly debates. It gives a solid understanding of the thought that went into the creation of our Constitution. So broadly, the next, okay?
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
So next, Constituent Assembly debates broadly divided into preliminary stage, from 9th December 1946 to 27th January 1948. Okay?
Okay.
The committees such as the Union Powers Committee and the Committee on the Fundamental Rights and Minorities produced recommendations outlining the Constitution's guiding ideas to prepare
Sir, constitutional.
guiding ideas to prepare the draft constitution. A drafting committee was formed. Okay, this is preliminary stage. Next, reading from November 4th, 1948 to November 9th, 1948.
Sir, from what date, sir?
Okay?
First November
The
to
drafting-
9th November.
Yes, this is first reading. Okay? The drafting committee,
So 8th to 9th only, sir, one day only.
9th November 4th, 1948 to 9th November 1948.
Okay, thank you.
The drafting committee published the draft constitution of India in February 1948. The draft was introduced in the assembly in November 1948. Okay. Next, second reading. Second reading. November 15th, 1948 to October 17th, 1949. November 15th, 1948 to October 17th, 1949. Clause by clause, discussion of the draft was conducted in the assembly. Next, third reading. November 14th, 1949 to November 26th, 1949. The assembly finished the third reading and enacted the Constitution on November 26th, 1949.
Sir, what is the last date, sir? Enacted the constitution on?
November
26th
26th,
November.
that is finishing day of
Okay, okay.
Constitution, November 26th, 1949.
Yes, sir.
Important facts related to the Constituent Assembly debates. Important facts related to the Constituent Assembly debates. And that number 1. The members debated the text of the Constitution clause by clause for nearly 101 days, and in total almost 36 lakh words were spoken in the assembly, with Dr. B.R. Ambedkar receiving the honor of speaking the most words. Next, part 3, fundamental rights, was argued for roughly 16 days about 14% of the clause by clause discussion. Next, around 6 days, the directive principles of state policy contained in part 4 were considered about 4%. Next, women made up roughly 2% of the total number of participants in the conservation. Or in the
Number of
conversation.
participants. Okay.
Only 15 women were elected to the assembly, and only 10 of them took part in debates. G. Durgabai, a freedom warrior and Congress member, spoke the most words among the female members? Next, representatives. Participated in the debates more actively than members from princely states who were appointed to the assembly.
Sir, princely state.
Sir, from?
Who were appointed to the assembly. Okay. Next, province members participated in around
Sir,
85%
Sir,
of the talks.
participated in.
While members
Please
from
repeat this point from beginning.
province members participated in around 85% of the talks, while members from princely states contributed to about 6%.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, just to go through with the what we have written. Anyone? One by one. From starting.
Shall I start from first reading?
Madhu,
Sir Harini.
Yes, sir.
Start.
No, actually, first reading from November 4th, 1948 to November 9th, 1948. The draft.
From starting.
Draft
Constituent
Constitution.
Assembly debates
Indian
from the day
Constitution.
starts. Huh?
Constitution Assembly debates broadly divided into
From
preliminary
starting.
Sir, I will read, sir.
Huh?
Sir,
Ready?
sir, yes, sir. The Indian Constituent
From
Assembly.
starting you, then Madhu. Okay?
The Indian Constituent Assembly was established with the express purpose of creating the Constitution for an independent India between 1947 and 1949 until the Indian Constitution was approved. It existed for 3 years. The Indian Constitution was framed over the course of 165 days in the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly debates and discussions that the members had while formulating the Constitution for a free India are referred as Constituent Assembly debates. It gives a solid understanding of the thought that went into the creation of our constitution.
Okay, next, Madhu.
Yes, sir. The first reading from November 4th, 1948 to November 9th, 1948. The draft published draft Constitution of India in 1948 was introduced the Assembly in 1948. Second reading, November 15th, 1948 to October 17th, 1949. Clause by clause, discussion of the draft was conducted in the Assembly. Third reading, November 14th, 1949 to November 26th, 1949. The Assembly finished the third reading and enacted the Constitution on November 26th, 1949. Important related to the constant Assembly debate. Number one, the member drafted the text of the Constitution clause by clause from nearly 101 days, and Constitution clause and it total from most 36 lakh words were spoken with Dr. B.R. Ambedkar receiving the honor of the Speaker of the most words. Part 3. Fundamental rights was argued from roughly 16 days, account from around 14% of the by clause discussion. Around is the discussion, around 6 days, the directive principles of the state policy continued in part 4, where constituted 4%, considered 4%, sorry. Mumbai freedom, roughly 2% of the total of participation in the conservation. Only 15 women were elected in the assembly, and only 10 of the posted in the debate. G. Durgabai, freedom member, and Congress member spoken the most words in the debate.
Harini, can you mute? No.
Two more points, sir. Respective participants the debate more actively than members from princely states who were appointed to the assembly. Last point. Province members participated in around 85% of the talks, while member of princely state contributed to around 6%.
Next, anyone ready? Next, the completion and approval of the Constitution
Yes, sir.
Not able to hear, sir.
Yeah, just a technical problem.
Okay, sir.
Internet. Okay. The completion and approval of the Constitution was a historic event that the entire world was watching with bated breath.
Ching?
The decision to extend
World was watching and, sorry, sir.
the decision to extend the universal adult franchise was a huge risk for the Indian government.
Sir, please repeat it, sir.
The decision to the extent the universal adult franchise, that is right to vote, was a huge risk for the Indian government, but was also one of the most visible expressions of democratic zeal. The Constituent Assembly debates
Sir, come again, sir.
the Constituent Assembly debates play an important role in the creation of the Constitution, which is now regarded as a tremendous democratic achievement for which the members deserve a numerous respect. Some debates and their headings. Your role is see what is happened on the debate, and you can present.
Come again,
Hello.
sir. In between audio.
Your voice is not clear, sir.
To write some important debates. Okay. Go through the debates.
Okay,
You
sir.
can present tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Number one, Constituent Assembly debate on untouchability. Constituent Assembly debate on untouchability. Next, Constituent Assembly debate on federalism.
Sorry, Milord. On?
Federalism.
Thank you.
Next, Constituent Assembly debate on Uniform Civil Code. Uniform Civil Code. Next, Constituent Assembly debate on reservations. Constituent Assembly debate on reservations. Next, Constituent Assembly debate on preamble. Constituent Assembly debate on preamble. Next, Constituent Assembly debate on abolition of death penalty. Constituent Assembly debate on abolition of death penalty. Okay. These are limited. You can go with the other Constituent Assembly debates on other subject also. Okay.
Okay.
And make a short notes on each point and read the debate, and after that your opinion on the debate. You can debate on Constitution debate. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No doubts? That's all for the day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.